What's up, Frosty viewer? So, let's get to it straight. You've been playing Dota 2 for some couple of years by now. You were either calibrated somewhere near 3000 or 2500 MMR. You spent so many hours playing the game, but you seem to just can't get past that 3k hellhole. You also spend so many hours playing matches with your friends, and you're actually doing pretty good. However, the most frustrating experience to you must be during your solo queues. It's just so hard to climb that ranking ladder and you just don't know why. Well, I have a good news for you. You're not alone. And if you're that person, this video is definitely for you. I found several things which greatly helped me overcome these obstacles. Note that I neither claim to be a very good player, nor are these tips absolute. These were just some of the things that I noticed to be very effective in having a better time at solo rank queue matches. It may or may not apply to all players. Also, to put the context, I'm playing at a server full of cancers. And that's right, it is the C server. So, the context may have shaped these ideas and may not be as significant to all other servers. Nevertheless, I will be as general as possible in my approach, and I hope that you can get something out from this video so that you can devise your own habit or strategy which may be more suitable to your own context. Without further ado, here are some tips that might help you in your 3k to 4k journey. Here we go. Number 1. You have to get better. I know that this is a very obvious statement, but there's really no other significant way to get higher up to that ladder. You really have to improve, not only as a player, but also as a person. There are so many ways that you can actually do to improve as a player. I will only provide 3 basic ways to do so. So number 1, watch replays of professional players. It will actually tell you a lot about the current meta, the current update or patch, and the skill builds, item builds, basic mechanics, or a very good understanding of a certain hero that you would want to master. Number 2, watch replays of your own game. This is very important because you can actually spot the mistakes that you won't be able to see right away during your games. Number 3, practice every day and learn from your games. I really believe that an average person who plays and learns from like 10 games per day could really beat a talented man, quote unquote, if there's such a thing, who only plays 1 game per day. The thing is that your muscle memory is actually working when you keep on repetitively doing certain tasks until it becomes a part of you. It's like part of your skin and bones and blood. That's why basketball players, tennis players, or all other sports, they do certain drills in order to drill different actions into their own visceral registers as if it's already a part of them, so they could just do it almost instinctively. Here's also when you actually develop your so-called game sense, the thing which suddenly enables you to decide instantaneously in certain situations, even without necessarily processing all the information available in front of you. All of this can be greatly improved by practicing. If you really spend time with whatever you really want to do, it's really inevitable. You will really get good at it. As for the personal improvement, I really wouldn't dwell too much into this because there are lots of guides or good reads out there which can really help you to improve as a person. Also, I am not really the one to talk as there are so many things to work on with myself too. But the point is, if you improve as a person, you will eventually also improve as a player. One of the things that really helped me is meditation. When you learn to concentrate and put all your focus on a certain task, your gameplay will really vastly improve. It is also here that consistency is actually being developed. Ever notice when you actually play very well sometimes and play very bad at some point? That's because you lack consistency. Consistency can be greatly developed when you have or a player has a discipline and a mental focus. The second tip, number 2, changing your mindset. I get this a lot previously. Whenever I played ranked games, sometimes when I get too many good games and is on a winning streak, I feel like my shoulders are getting heavier. I realized that this was primarily because I was starting to treat playing in ranked games as if it is a very sensitive and delicate activity which might make or break me as a player. Make no mistake, treating it seriously is different from approaching it sensitively. I was afraid that I might lose and then my MMR will actually go down again. This mindset is actually pulling me away from my game. I just then realized that I was no longer playing as me. I was too focused on getting plus 25 MMR that I actually forget the fundamentals and basic mechanics of the game. It even came to a point where I almost no longer really wanted to improve my plays and just wait for Lady Luck to actually work with my teammates. This is one of the worst things that you could ever do to yourself as a gamer. Stop treating it very sensitively. Focus on what you can do rather than what your teammates can do, and be confident of your skills. Finally, never ever stop from aiming to excel in every game. You will not get that 4K MMR just like that. You really have to work for it. You really have to deserve it. So even if you lose, think of the things that you might have done wrong and work on it. Stop pointing fingers and just blame your teammates for the lose. Well, it may be true that most of the mistakes come from your teammates, but you can't really deny the fact that you've committed some mistakes at some point in that game. So, instead of looking at it as if everything has been ruined by your teammates, start looking at every game as an opportunity for you to become a better Dota player. Stop pointing fingers, stop blaming your teammates, accept your responsibilities, accept that you have committed some faults in game, and do better next game. Now the third one is very effective strategy in playing ranked games. I call it the pause and play strategy. Now as soon as you get your first lose in a day, take a break for a couple of minutes. After that, try playing a ranked game again. If you suffer a loss again, stop playing Dota for a couple of hours. Do some other things, do some exercise, or play some other games. Just make yourself feel relaxed again. After that, try playing a game. If you suffer a loss again, stop playing a ranked game for that whole day, because this will actually help get focused on each ranked game that you play. The more you actually lose, the more you become frustrated. And if you are frustrated, there will be lots of things going on in your mind and you cannot play very well. And you will become toxic to other players on your next games. So it is better if you refrain from playing for that day if you suffer 3 major losses in your rank, and just make yourself feel relaxed again. However, if you continuously win, you can do either stop at your 5th victory or stop until you lose. Then after that, you relax, play other games, so on and so forth. So that's basically it. If you lose, pause for a while, then play again. If you lose again, pause for a while and play again. And if you lose, then again, you'll have to stop for that day and wait until you'll have good feeling, so you can play at your peak. The next one, number 4, is mute and music strategy. I usually do this whenever I play because, in C server, even during the picking phase, everyone will be trash talking you even if you haven't done anything. So right after the picking phase, I usually mute all the people when I was in 3K, and actually works sometimes in 4K. I mute all the players and start to play a music. So it's like playing with bots. You can actually do your best whenever you do that. However, the downside of this is that you won't be able to communicate with all other players. That's why right now what I do is that I only apply this strategy whenever someone is starting to become cancerous, someone is starting to become toxic. So I mute them, I play the music, and then just play my good thoughts. Number 5. Never say it's all over, let them finish. Never give up too easily. As long as the game is still going, you will only lose when you stop playing. When I say stop playing, it is when you no longer play the game and just want everything to go south, just because the game doesn't go your way. Morale is very important in every team game. When even just one player loses the will to play, the game will be very much harder if not impossible to win. What if it's not you? What if your teammate says that? It is here when your tenacity will be tested. What I usually do is just to continue playing. I usually mute players who spread nothing but negativity and trash talks. The idea is that these players are still redeemable. If they see even just a single light of hope, even just one player that actually plays well, and can see that your team can still win, it is still possible for them to get out of that negativity zone. Thus, it is more practical to just don't listen to whatever they say and just do your best to show these people that you can still win the game. This will then go back to the first tip. If they see that they have a very good player playing with them, they'll also do their best to actually win the game. So stop blaming your teammates, stop saying this, saying that, just play your dotes, and you'll never know what will happen next. 6th, never play ranked games if you are not in the mood to play. Whether if you were dumped by your girlfriend or boyfriend, or failed some exams, got some rejections, or feel like the world is crumbling down your feet, it is a grave mistake to play with your head full of worries and thoughts. If you're having this day, it is better for you to just play normal matches or play with your friends. That way you can still keep your game muscles worked out while not actually worrying about the dreaded -25. Remember, our target is to get to that 4K summit. Never lose your sight on that goal. With that said, I would like to give some nuances of those players playing in the 3K bracket and those who play in the 4K. Those players who actually play in 3K bracket seem to not really harmonize with other players. So that's one of the main difference. 4.5 players specifically actually knows, although there are still some players who are very toxic, somehow they actually know how to play and harmonize with all other players. However, in the 3K bracket, somewhere in 3.1 to 3.8K bracket, players are mostly focused on an individual level, on whatever they can provide, whatever they can give. So carries will just farm, mid players will just show off that they are very good, they are very skilled whatsoever, and you will rarely see players who actually play support. And whenever players actually play support, they usually play as if they would want to become well farmed at the end of the day. So that's the point. In the 3.1 to 3.8K, the focus of players really is on an individual level. What I'm saying is that if this is the kind of context that you are playing in, you'll have to adjust so that you can have your optimum output in every game. So this is where actually the mute and music strategy comes in. That is why I think it's very effective during my 3K days, because players really are more of an individualistic. They are very individualistic to the point that they never really wanted you to help them, or if they wanted you to help them, all they are actually thinking of is that you owe them help because they are playing pretty well, or that they can actually play pretty good. So what can you do about this? Mute them, play the music, do your best to help your teammates, to make the decisions that you actually believe is the best way to do it, and to have better confidence in yourself. That's one of the greatest things that could actually help you get out of the 3K hell hole. So to summarize, here are the things that you should remember. When I discovered and applied these tips, I managed to get from 3.2K to 4K in just 3 months. Right now, I'm in 4.6K and is hoping to get to 5K someday. Again, I am just an average player. You may even be far better than me, but just needed some strategy to get off the 3K pit. If I was able to do that, I know that you can too. Good luck on your road to 4K, and if you have any suggestions as to what videos I should do next, or if you have something to say about these tips, just comment down below. If this has been useful to you, it would really help a lot if you like and share this to others too. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. As always, stay frosty.